Enter the Sandman. Cory Sandhagen is going to be taking on Deiveson Figueiredo in May. They are going to be fighting, and the whole fucking MMA world is just like, what do we have to do as fans to get O'Malley versus Sandhagen? Honestly, that was the first thing I thought when I saw this fight. And Dana White said after the UFC Seattle card, we're more than likely going to be seeing Merab versus O'Malley too, which absolutely no one wants to see, okay? That is almost a dead fight, okay? It's almost a dead fight. Sandhagen versus O'Malley is perfect. It's the stylistically most perfect matchup in the division that we can get excited for as fans, okay? That or like a Peter Yan versus pretty much either of these guys, okay? Because Yan's just fucking beast. But that was the fight to make, man. Both of them were at similar kind of stages in their career where both coming off losses to the people that fought for the belt. It was a God-made stylistic dream for us MMA fans. Cory Sandhagen, in my opinion, would have actually beaten O'Malley. I've been saying this for years now. I think Sandhagen beats O'Malley. Ever since I seen Sandhagen versus Cheeto, that's when I was like, oh, okay. I started to pick Sandhagen against O'Malley back then. I know the Umar fight, he lost, whatever. Merab beat O'Malley, even though some people thought, O'Malley won, which he just didn't. Like, let's be honest here. Like, he just didn't. And I think stylistically, like the striking exchanges in that fight, it's possibly it's top, five, top three best matches that I think I want to see in the UFC. Big, not biggest, but just like as a style and like the name value these two are going to bring for the hardcore fans. Nobody wants to see Merab O'Malley too. Okay, we saw that fight once. It was fucking boring as shit. It was in the sphere. It was built up as this mega thing, and it was just a boring ass fight. No one wants to see it again. Okay, you have to build up hype to see rematches that were boring in the first place. Okay, this is this. If it was an absolute fucking barn burner, okay, and like Merab was dropped a few times, things like that, that would have been a different conversation. But insta running, okay, insta running, a boring rematch that no one wants to see, that O'Malley's gonna lose again. Okay, it's not that I necessarily dislike the O'Malley versus Merab rematch, just in general. I just think if you're insta booking it a few months later, after the original fight, that the hype is just dead and it's just not there for the fans. Okay, as much as Merab has built up hype from beating Umar and has gotten all of the MMA world on his side after that Umar fight, like it's not going to do for fans after how shit the O'Malley first fight was because it was just a boring fight. Okay, like if they ran back the Umar fight, there would at least be like a shit that was such a good fight the first time. But then again, I think if they insta ran the Umar fight, the kind of aura of the Nurmagomedovs aren't undefeated would kind of be gone out the window, and the fact that like Merab will just step on it probably even earlier than the first fight, it would probably be a different fight as well. That wouldn't have as much hype, but this one has no hype. Okay, and with Sandhagen versus Figueiredo, like it's a good fight. Like I'm not necessarily angry. Like I'm happy to see Cory back simply because he's one of my favorite fighters. But I just feel like they really missed the mark on this one. I wouldn't have even been mad at an Umar versus Figgy. Both coming off losses, and then maybe even like a. I honestly thought they were gonna do Yan versus O'Malley. I wanted to see Sandhagen versus O'Malley. That was the fight I wanted to see. It made sense as well, but I honestly thought they were going to do a Yan 5 rounder rematch as a number one contender fight because Yan's coming off, I think it's 2 wins now. It's Song Yadong and Deiveson Figueiredo, 2 impressive wins as well. I thought that was the fight that made the most sense as regards like a hype because it was such a controversial, fight the first time, and the UFC could have promoted the shit out of that, and you could have done it pretty much anywhere, and you could have done that in like Saudi or something like that, and but they just gone with like such weird matchmaking. Like let's break down the Sandhagen versus Figgy fight as a whole. It's actually a good fight. I think Cory beats him. I think Cory's gonna 49-46 him. You know what I mean? I think Cory's got a fucking great chin. He's got an absolute solid granite chin to where Figueiredo's power punches that he was kind of landing. Like he did drop Cheeto, which is, that's an incredible achievement in itself. The dude's a fucking beast. Like that knee O'Malley got him, that couldn't have even dropped him. Figueiredo dropped him. I feel like the power punches Figgy has aren't going to be able to land simply because Cheeto is a way more of a stationary target than Sandhagen. I think Sandhagen's movement and the fact he's always moving constantly is going to be an issue for Figueiredo to find shots, and the flying stuff. I think Cory throws in there is going to be massive flying knees, spinning shit, typical Cory stuff. I think that's going to cause Figgy problems as well. I wouldn't even be mad with a Cory stoppage, to be honest with you. I think he might be able to get him out of there maybe later on or something like that. The grappling as well, Sandhagen's been implementing into his game plans recently is exceptional. That's going to give Figueiredo something to think about. And that is exactly why I was picking him to beat O'Malley, because he was just going to mix it in too good. Okay? Losing to Umar, there's no shame in that. Okay, Umar was beating Merab the first 2 rounds and then just gassed out. If Umar had another round in him in the third round, he would have won the fight. But he didn't. He completely gassed out. Everyone does against Merab. Okay, it's part of just fighting Merab. You're gonna gas out at some stage. Like the dude is just his cardio is the greatest cardio in fucking combat sports history. Like the dude is just an absolute beast, and you can't really deny him at this point in his career. But I feel like I trust in Cory's cardio as well, of course. I don't think Figueiredo is necessarily going to gas either. Like he never really had a bad gas tank at 125, so I don't really see him having a problem here. Cory doesn't exactly have the most. It's not like a Merab level pace to where you're thinking about that the whole time, but I just think the way he mixes in things is exceptional. Okay, I think that's really exceptional. And even if you look at the Umar fight, even though he lost and the judges had a 50-45, it wasn't as black and white as that. Okay, well, really just wasn't. Umar didn't really hold Cory down much at all, actually. Cory was getting up off the takedowns, just Umar was doing more, and he actually won that fight in striking, which is, really mad. Like, that's kind of what edged him the rounds, which I really didn't expect. I thought Cory was going to beat Umar. I didn't see enough of Umar yet to really pick him. But I've kind of seen Figueiredo and Cory for years now, to where I think this is a good style for Cory to win. I don't really see Figueiredo having much success within like kicking and keeping at range. I think this is Cory's game. I think this fight is stylistically good for Cory to keep him at range and really find shots and just mix it in. Figueiredo is good though. He just kind of is a bit sturdy. It's not like he's a bit sturdy with his punches. Like he just kind of is more stationary. He doesn't get sturdy on it. Like he doesn't start dancing in the middle of a fucking fight. But he's kind of like he plants his feet, and there's not really much movement or stuff like that. You know what I mean? Probably when he's dancing and getting sturdy is a lot of movement, but not in the fight. But yeah, I just feel like this was not great matchmaking, to be honest with you. I really feel like the UFC could have done better matches. I wouldn't have been necessarily mad, like I said, at Umar versus Figgy. That would have been an interesting one. Umar would have won. A Yan versus O'Malley would have been cool. Cory versus O'Malley would have been cool. Cory versus Yan would have been fucking sweet. You know what I mean? Because their first fight was for an interim belt. Short notice for Sandhagen, halfway across the world in Abu Dhabi. But it's quite hard to see what matchmaking bantamweight's going to have now. Where does Yan fit into this? Is Yan just going to sit, fight the winner? I wouldn't necessarily want to see. Actually, never mind. I don't want to see Yan versus Merab again right now. Okay. You have Song Yadong's in there as well. Okay, him and Cory fought fucking years ago. That was an early stop, but you couldn't even push that of a rematch. Okay, you could have pushed O'Malley. I just think O'Malley had to fight again. I can't believe he's getting a rematch, to be honest with you. After he never defended the belt. Oh, he did actually once against Cheeto. That's my fault. He defended once against Cheeto, and we all know Cheeto's fucking bang average. Okay, he was gifted a title shot. Absolutely gifted a title shot. Okay. He got absolutely smoked by Cory Sandhagen, beat like a short-nosed Pedro Munoz, and then got a title shot. Like, it's insanity, okay? His last fight, I think, was against Yan. Not Yan, sorry, Figgy, and then lost that. So Cheeto's really out of the mix. Unless you want to do Song Yadong versus Cheeto. Song Yadong just whoop his ass. I know that's a rematch as well. That could be a bit of interest there. But there's so many kind of rematches and fucking shit you could have done. And so many moving pieces to where bantamweight is one of my favorite divisions. I always said bantamweight's stacked. But like matches like Figgy versus Cory, I just feel like I'm missing the mark. Like if they did Figgy versus Cory and then Yan versus O'Malley, I'm not necessarily mad at that. I actually wouldn't mind that. But the fact Sean O'Malley is getting literally an immediate rematch after that shit performance, I honestly can't. Like Dana White was saying, someone about the fans want to see it. Not one single fan wants to see that rematch, and I guarantee you, not one. Yes, O'Malley might chin him and stuff like that, but you're really going to bet on O'Malley chinning Merab? Okay, I thought he was going to catch him in the first fight, but after the last few performances of Merab, are you really going to pick Merab or O'Malley to beat Merab again? I hope your answer is no, anyway. Because if you actually watch their fights, you will know that Merab will more than likely win that fight. Yes, he has a chance. O'Malley has a chance at chinning him, but you're just not going to pick him in that fight. Neither are the bookies. The bookies are going to have Merab a massive favorite. Okay, feel like the UFC just missed the mark on these matchmaking. Very interesting to see what happens with Jan. Okay, he's probably gonna have to fight again. He could even fight the winner of Sandhagen versus Figgy because this is in May. Okay, it's March now on Saturday, so this isn't necessarily ages away. No, it's probably 9-10 weeks out, which that'll fly like that. And then you might see the winner fight Jan in the summer. But I want to see Jan quite active. I wouldn't mind seeing Jan back in there again. Matches have to play. You know what I mean? I don't want to see Song Yadong rematch against Jan. Jan beat him only a year ago. So I don't know. I wanted to see O'Malley versus Sandhagen. I'm just a bit like, fuck's sake. Are we ever going to get that matchup? Unless it's for like a vacant belt if Merab moves up or something like that. That's, you know what I mean? Because if Sandhagen wins, he'd probably be looking. He'll fight fucking anyone. That's the thing. Like, he will literally fight someone not even in the UFC. Okay, the dude will fight anyone. So it's quite a weird thing to see where Sandhagen will go if he loses to Figueiredo, and if O'Malley loses. If O'Malley loses to Merab again, you've got that's two in a row now. Very, very, maybe bantamweight's even done for him. But then he might move up. But I don't really know. We're gonna have to see what happens with the divisions. But thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about this down below, and I'll see you in the next one.